Welcome to all you Taurians out there. Welcome for your yearly horoscope for 2016. And I'm so glad for you that Saturn is out of Scorpio, because a lot of Taurians during the last 2.5 years, they had Saturn in Scorpio, which was their opposite house, which is not easy. Which is not the easiest transit, but that's all gone. That's all gone now. Saturn is in another house, but it's not so drastic. You know, if we have those slow planets in key areas of our life, then it becomes more hard. And now for you Taurians, all the things that are going on in the sky with the slower planets, because that's what I do for the yearly forecast, looking at the slower planets, they're not really harming you at all. The mutable signs are having a hard time. You're not a mutable sign. The cardinal signs are going through some tough times. You're not a cardinal sign. So what I'm trying to say is that it might have been hard 2 years ago or last year. Now it's time to relax a little bit more, to enjoy a little bit more, and to have a little bit more fun. Because there's where the North Node is, and there is where Jupiter is. So it's a double whammy here. Where Jupiter is and where the North Node is, this shows growth. And Jupiter will be there up until September, but the North Node the whole year. So it's a double whammy of, look, you Taurians, focus on the 5th house. And it's the house of self-expression. It's the most fun house. It's the house of enjoying yourself. It's Venus, your ruler, joys there in that 5th house. Because Venus enjoys to enjoy itself. And it's also the house of children, of romance. It's the house of how you express yourself. It's the house also of changing a hobby into work, for instance. So if with the North Node is where we need to focus on. So if you focus in the year of 2016 a bit more, or if you say, no, I already focus a lot on that house, okay, good for you. But if you say, yeah, I don't really enjoy myself, or how long has it been that I've been to the cinema, or going out with friends to, I don't know, maybe a restaurant or doing something fun, well, spend a little bit more time there. It can do more than you think. It can open doors that you didn't know that it would. So that's one thing. Another very nice thing for you Taurians, and I don't want to sugarcoat here, there are other things going on, but I start with the good things, is Juno is a little asteroid, and it's about commitment and about fairness. You like that fairness because you are ruled by Venus, which is all about fairness. And that little asteroid is traveling the whole year in your 7th house of commitments and relationships. So this is very good for those of you who are single and who really want to meet someone. They will meet someone that is very fair, a relationship that is fair and committed. So they will meet someone who has the ingredients of that little asteroid, which is commitment and fairness. If you are in a relationship, it will become stronger, more fair. That will be the emphasis. So it will be there as from January up until October. So good for relationships, good for, you know, if you think that you are someone who doesn't commit very easily, maybe you are a younger person and you say, oh, I don't feel very committed, you will feel stronger committed than ever. So that's good energy. Now, where is there a little bit of stress? Well, there's a little bit of stress between Neptune and Saturn and Jupiter as well. But again, that won't be that drastic for you because you're not a mutable sign. And this is all a little war going on between Saturn, the realist, and between Neptune, the idealist. Also Jupiter. Jupiter and Neptune understand each other very well. They are very idealistic. They have ideas and ideas and ideas and ideas. And Saturn says, hey, are you going to try to make this dream come true or not? So the best thing to do is to implement both energies. And for you, this Neptune is in your 11th house. So it has been there for a long time, Neptune in the 11th, which is in fact a very nice transit. It shows that maybe you, on a very basic level, you can attract a bit more artistic friends, for instance, or artists or singers or writers or whatever. But on another level, it can mean that you have more hope. Neptune wants to give you wants to give you more, showing you more ways. It wants to open the boundaries. And maybe you have had more aspirations than normal. In itself, that's not bad. But if you would not become a bit more realistic towards some of those aspirations, then it would be a negative thing. In other words, if you've got 10 dreams, it's not the best thing, because it's only one lifetime. So you can't have all those dreams, you know, you have to be realistic. That's basically what I'm saying. Realistic with money that you loan from others, realistic with the values that you get from other people. Don't hope too much on don't demand too much of other people. That's basically it. If that's Saturn in the 8th house, that can be a bit more slowing down or making it a bit more challenging when it comes to feeling united with someone else. So if that is the case, just try to be as real as you can for a start, and then things will flow a little bit more easy. Saturn in the 8th is also it tries to structure your, not only your financial situation, so, but also your psychological insights. So it's working hard on understanding yourself on a deep psychological level, being very realistic when it comes to, not fearful that is, but when it comes to your inner growth. And this can stimulate you in actually working hard. So it's very much about being realistic, but on the other hand, also having hope. But I think that won't be too much of a problem for you Taurians. Now, Pluto is in your 9th house, and the good thing about Pluto is that's in a fellow earth sign in Virgo, and it's in a trine with Jupiter. Again, in that 5th house. This is amazing stuff. Why? Because Jupiter and Pluto, this is one of my favorite aspects. It happened last year as well, so maybe you can look back in 2015 what happened around the 12th of October. That can give you some clues, because it comes back in March and in June next year, but you will feel it throughout the whole year, the support from Jupiter and Pluto. And what is this all about? Jupiter is about expansion, Pluto is about strength. So it's strong expansion going on somewhere, strong confidence going on somewhere, no nonsense at all, very, very deep growth. And it has to do with your wisdom, you could say, your higher mind, and it also has to do with your self-expression. So some of you might start a creative project that has to do with foreign countries, that has to do with publication. If so, there are results coming. Others will maybe travel or maybe do something very entertaining at the same time while they are traveling and working with other people. For others, it can mean that they are writing a child's book, for instance, the 5th house and the 9th house. For others, it will mean that a hobby turns into something more, that they can make a website and show it to many other people from other countries, which is the 9th house. So this is all very positive energy for you. So I talked about Juno. Oh yes, and the hardest thing for you, if there's anything that quite hard in general, or the challenge, is that 8th house with Mars there as well. So people won't see that you are maybe struggling with a fear that you have, or that you are maybe having an imaginative fear and trying to overcome that. Big or minor, doesn't matter, but you will do your best to do that, because Mars and Saturn will be there in your 8th house for quite a long time. So Mars is in the 8th house as from March up until August. It will be in your 7th house as well, a tiny little bit. So it means that relationships, try to understand that other person. Try, if you are with someone, if you are single, you could also attract people who are quite strong and authoritarian a little bit. Not authoritarian, but strong. So they know what they want, and they go for it. So be aware of that, to try to team up with them, yes, but also go for your own goals and try to make them known, but in a very gentle way, which you can do because you're Taurian. And it's really working hard on explore behind the scenes. Actually, the 8th house is a house behind the scenes. So it's a good time to investigate something, maybe the occult, because that's the 8th house. Maybe investigate something about life after death. That's also the 8th house. Maybe investigate the metaphysical. Good time to spend energy there. But it can also mean that you have some strong desires, but you have to master those desires. You have to control them in order for them to realize them in a real way. So that's for you Taurians out there. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a very good year. Thank you for supporting me throughout the year of 2015. You are so kind, and subscribing and commenting and ordering readings. Keep on doing that, because that keeps me doing these videos. I again very appreciated all your support out there. Have a very strong year in 2016. Bye bye.